Grand Rising, guys and goddesses, and you are tuning in to the ninth saga of Intimate with TomBoi.
Hey, hey, yeah. Hey, hey, yeah. She was lying. She was texting. She was sexing in the other room. She was cheating. She was cheating. She was freaking in the other room, making a fool of me, making a fool of me, making a fool.
Alright, guys and goddesses, this is the ninth saga of Intimate with TomBoi, the Black Rico Suave. So, we opened it up with making a fool. Today we're going to talk about infidelity and cheating on Intimate with TomBoi. So let's just start it with this question. What makes people cheat? I remember one time I had an ex and she said, well, niggas gonna cheat anyway. So it's expected of niggas to not be faithful, for them to be on some infidelity and they just gonna have another bitch. That's just how she put it to me. And I was thinking to myself, like, damn, this is how y'all feel? Like, you just feel like your nigga is gonna cheat on you? Like, no type of faithfulness. He only got eyes for you. He just gonna always have a side piece? And then I thought to myself this. Or is it that some people just don't want to be in a monogamous lifestyle? And they might not know how to admit it to themselves, And they don't want to lose the person that wants the monogamous lifestyle. So they just go on and just live a double life, I mean, but it ain't just the men that cheat. Women cheat too. But what are the reasons behind the cheating? Like, what is the reasons that, the men are cheating? What's the reasons that the women cheating? Is it, the love spark is not there no more, so they cheating? Is it they feel like their significant other doesn't get them, so they're going elsewhere to get satisfied? What is it that causes people to cheat, some people think just certain people just they lust after people. Like, you don't even have to deal with them wanting to be polyamorous or none of that. They just lust after people and they feel like, man, I just want to have multiple partners. But I want to cover every side of this. Let's start out with the people that basically they might be polyamorous, but they trying to practice monogamy. And because they haven't did it for themselves, they're cheaters just based off of they haven't wanted monogamy for themselves. They want monogamy for the other person. So if you're not honest with yourself and who you are, you can become a cheater just based off of you not being real. It don't have nothing to do with you just want a side piece or nothing. Like, you just not being real with who you are. And you can't practice monogamy for someone else. You have to practice monogamy for yourself. It's something you have to want. You know what I'm saying? And I know sometimes when people find a certain person, they don't want to let them go. And so they agree to something just based off of like, hey, it ain't gonna get no better than this. You a good woman, or you a good dude, and I'm not gonna let this shit go. So hey, I'm gonna pretend that I'm monogamous because shit, I'm gonna keep my good thing. And that's also not fair to the other person, because you're not being honest with them and you're taking away their choice. And what you're doing is, when they find out, or they find out they catch you, this is what is going to happen. They're going to catch you cheating. And what you did is now you're starting to put trauma in somebody because you're not honest with who you are. And so a lot of times I say to myself, like, you can't trust people because no one wants to really say who they are. And some people be like, well, use discernment. But I mean, let's be honest. When a person comes and talk to you, do they really come up to you and say, I'm a cheater, I got multiple women, or I got multiple niggas? You know what I'm saying? Are they gonna display that? No, they're putting their best foot forward. For you, they're single, and they're all for you. And let's be honest, when you feel like you click with somebody, people don't turn into PIs trying to figure out if this motherfucker is a cheater or not. You believe them because you putting your best foot forward, so you have trust in them. And so with that, now we're getting on the trust issues. Like, how can you trust people when they have secrets and lies? You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's hard in this dating scene, y'all. It's hard in this dating scene. So I mean, you could think you know somebody, but you really don't fully know them if they don't inform you on certain information. Like I said, usually a motherfucker that's a cheater, if they don't want to lose you, they always trying to put their best foot forward. They are trying to make you feel like they only have eyes for you. And so, it's just, it's a lot. Like, people putting their hearts on the line all the time, Then you got the cheaters that they cheat off of emotions. Like, if they feel they're not getting what they deserve with their partner, they're seeking it with somebody else. Maybe it might be something simple. It might not even be a sexual desire. It might be something like their partner doesn't listen to them, but the side piece do. And so you got people that's got side pieces and they cheating not because they want to cheat, but because they want to be heard. We got so many reasons for why people want to cheat, and it's crazy. Which that brings me to a story, because I ain't never been a perfect person, but have I been a cheater before? Yes. And I remember one time I was in a relationship, and the person I was with, they triggered me. And people like, well, how could somebody trigger you into cheating? And what they did was, we had a celebration for them, and after that, they told me that they might be wanting to take a break and be interested in other people. And it sparked something in me to say, oh nah, we ain't finna be taking a break. And of course, they didn't act on the desires, but it was the fact that they put me in a mindset of that I might not be good enough for them. And when they did that, like, I just said, whatever, I'm finna make sure I got me somebody. And I just started seeing people in different cities and all that. Like, I had a girlfriend in different cities, and it didn't help because like, I do music, so I was on tour. So I could have a woman in St. Louis, I could have a woman in Texas, I could have a woman in New York, you name it. And I would come home as if they were like the only one for me. But I went into like a defense mechanism, like, and I kept going back to that. Oh, you talking about you want to see other people. Oh, I'm gonna make sure I got me a woman. It don't have to be, oh, I got a woman, and I'm gonna keep one. Was it right? Was it a good excuse for me to cheat? No. But also at the end of the day, when people get triggered, if you don't have communication lines opened up, say what you mean, and you just jump to conclusions, you do a lot of wild things. And that's why communicating is key. Maybe like communicating with your partner being honest and just upfront can make people not become cheaters because your partner is aware of what's going on, and maybe they could say like, I didn't mean that. Like, I feel like when she told me that, maybe if I would, instead of just not saying nothing, maybe she could have kept me and said like, well, babe, I didn't mean it like that. I was just talking out of the side of my neck, and all that. But instead, I just said, fuck this. I'm finna make sure I'm good, and all kind of things went through my head. It wasn't even just the fact that it was like, well, maybe what if she is cheating on me already? And the case of the matter, she wasn't. But you think about a lot of things. So sometimes, whatever you say, you got to be careful what you say to your partner. And or if you feel like your partner's saying something off the wall, you got to communicate with them and say like, let's talk about what you said. Don't be offended, but just kind of understand what they said, because you could be avoiding a situation just by communicating it. So we definitely got to get our communication skills up. And that's why you hear people say so many times, communication is key. Because, it can avoid situations. It can avoid people cheating on their significant others, because they're communicating, they're being honest with who they are, letting the person know who they're dealing with so they can make a choice if they want to be with them or not. Because, I'm big on don't take away someone's choice. Let them choose if they want to be with you. Do not take away a good person and put trauma in their life because you're not into monogamy and you're into polygamy. Don't do that to a person. Let them be able to choose if they want you or not, because you might be surprised on what they decide to choose. You know what I'm saying? What if they do choose you? If they don't choose you, it's okay, because it's somebody that will choose you. And don't think that they're the only good person you're gonna get. There's a lot of good people out here. They just gotta have that choice. And then let's speak on the other side of it. What about the person that's not the cheater? The person that's standing by you, or maybe they're aware that you're cheating, but they're overlooking it. Is that healthy for them? Like, how many people can say like, they could know, like, maybe even like we could talk on your grandparents. Or what if your grandfather or your grandmother was a cheater and it was just overlooked because they were like, we're just going to stay together and we're going to act as if it doesn't happen? Like, doesn't that make you wonder, the person that's getting cheated on, how do they deal with staying in a relationship knowing that their partner is cheating on them? Some people might say, man, they a fool. Ain't no way in hell. But like, how many people have overlooked their spouse or their partner having a side piece? And what is it that has triggered them to thinking like, that's cool, as long as I don't see it, I don't know about it, I'm just gonna act as if it doesn't happen? Or I know about it, but it doesn't matter to me because at the end of the day, I'm where the heart is. I'm home. Because like I said and I mentioned earlier, I had an ex and she already said, well, niggas is gonna cheat anyway. That's what they do. And for her to say that and put that as like, this is a category for all niggas, all men, they're cheaters. You know what I'm saying? This is what they do. Like, was it passed down from a generation where maybe her grandmother or her mother, they looked their partners or the spouses, cheating on them, and they overlooked it like, well, that's what they gonna do, I ain't worried about it. So, is that okay? Is that a form of trauma? Just overlook the cheating. As long as this ain't going home, as long as this is going on, I don't care what they're doing. Because we can even take it to like, it was a scene in What's Love Got to Do with It. Everybody know this is a classic, the Tina Turner, where Ike was flirting with women, and Angela Bassett, who played Tina Turner, was looking at her mama like, I'm just tired every time I turn my head. And she said, girl, he a man, don't worry about it, he gonna do that. Like, We have to really think about it. Like, there's women that teach their daughters to, like, that's okay, just don't worry about it. They gonna do that, whatever. They got, but they with you, So, I mean, hey, like, there's women that teach their daughters, or, like, this, expect this to happen, but don't let this dictate your relationship. Besides that, he's still a good man or whatever. He's still taking care of you. He doing that. And is that okay? There are so many things that we can go over on why cheaters do what they do and everything. But the biggest thing I want y'all to do is I want y'all to be in healthy relationships. And I want y'all to be able to communicate with one another. If you're a polyamorous person, and you meet somebody that's in a monogamy, let them know who you are. Don't lie to them. Give them that choice. Because like I said, don't take away somebody's choice. And if you were taught that all men do is cheat, because that's what, your mother or your grandmother said, you just got to deal with it. That he's a man. He's going to do what a man does. If you think that's a curse, break that curse. Break that chain cycle. Like, no, not all men do cheat. And if you know you don't want to deal with a cheater, don't do it. Because, like, why continue a cycle that you don't want continued? And if you're in a situation with your partner and your partner says something that might trigger you, communicate with them. You know what I'm saying? Don't go out and become a cheater because they triggered you. You could be messing up a good thing based off of not communicating. So it's all about communicating. It's all about being real and honesty. Alright? I want y'all to have the best healthy relationships y'all can have, right? I appreciate y'all. Again, this is the 9th saga of Intimate with TomBoi. Hope y'all enjoyed the subject. Sunday. I'm going to see y'all next Sunday. Light, love, peace, abundance, and prosperity. Gods and goddesses. Alright now.
Hey, hey, yeah. Hey, hey, yeah. She was lying. She was texting. She was sexing in the other room. She was cheating. She was cheating. She was